Hello and welcome to my 3.6 assignment. I am S.J. Newton, or Sean Newton if you're looking directly in the system. Um, Today I will be showing you my mechanic. So the basis of my mechanic is, started off as a way to ignore that. That's only supposed to cast there. But it started off as a interactable with the wall, and it kind of evolved into, see, that's when it was supposed to go. This is the only level I have prepared so far, but I will go ahead and walk you through what it is, how it was done, and how it started. So initially, this was supposed to be a interact with the wall, then the wall blows up as such, and then you can traverse to wherever you need to go further in the level. Right. So obviously, it changed up a little bit. So now it's a TnT block, or a literal living fire, that blows up the wall in the way and allows you to go ahead and slip on through, and thus you get to recharge your mana at the end of the level. Now, to show you how I did this, I'm just going to drag my code over because I have this beautiful thing called a triple screen setup that just makes things awesome. So we're going to start with a bomb. Yeah, we're going to start with a bomb. So first thing you need to do in the event graph is branch off of, you see, as soon as you hit this interact for the, so this is the entity interactable. You need to make a copy or a duplicate of that, so you get all of the code from that, and you can just edit straight off of it. What I did initially was I just made it a different color so it was easier to differentiate. But after I downloaded my polish package, which is the VX you see and it makes it look like super polished, I just inserted that as we went. I'll have a link to the specific package I used. I don't know if it's still free or not, but I got it when it was free, so I just went ahead and inputted that. So if you want to start here for the interact, right, you go through all this code. We don't touch any of this, all right? The only thing we touch is we want to go to this branch here, alt click the true, and you want it to branch off again, and we will talk about where to get this. So this code is just a bool, but it's important where the bool is, because if you don't have this bool, if you put this bool in this particular entity, it doesn't work. It won't call the way you need it to, and it won't be able to connect to the find. So the find is actually connecting directly to the actual base tile. I thought I had it open. I don't have it open right now. Give me 1 second. It is actually connected to the base tile. My brain is all right. We're good. So it's connected to the base tile, and literally all you have to do is go to variables, add a variable, and then make the variable a boolean and name it whatever you want, because this is what's going to be calling the actual tile whenever to calling the tile to also be blown up, or essentially being turned invisible. Now the the whole, you saw how it looks. That is because I'm simulating a blow up, but in reality, I'm just setting it invisible. So, what you need to know is, well, the first thing you need to do is, we already talked about this. Get the copy the entity interactable, right? Name it whatever you want to name it, and make that branch, right? You won't have this until you go, and you won't have this target until you go to create it in the tile. Whenever you create it in the tile, compile it, and then you'll be able to find that boolean you just made to connect the target, and you to get this specifically, this thing right here, you have to use the default value for the tile. So whenever you type in, let's just say the is blowing up. Oh, excuse me, may actually have to take it off of context sensitive to see it. Yeah. So whenever you just type in is blowing up, it will do just the tile to get is blowing up, and that is the correct one. So let me see if I can do another one. Is current or get current. Okay. The example is falling apart. Just know that this is what you're looking for specifically, or anything else you try to put. So get right the is blowing up, right? You want to make sure you get the tile specific, the class for the tile. That is the only way you're going to get this specific node to be able to connect it to the condition and for it to function. So the next thing we're going to move on to is the function, right? So you need to go over here to the left, create a function, give it a name, right? And then you start writing in it, right? I'm sorry, I did kind of hop ahead. You also want to create an event dispatcher too, just so this has a actual call function. So your base event graph will be calling through the event dispatcher to get the function you just created. So obviously I made my event dispatcher explosive touch. There's literally nothing else in this, right? It's just literally just an event dispatcher. Then you want to go back to the function and you want to do another branch, right? And this time the condition is to find the current tile. So that's actually what I was trying to type in earlier for the can't enter, which is already a native Boolean that's in the tile. That's why it's able to, so we're using the same thought process and method for the can enter Boolean here that was already inserted for our blowing up, and that's how it's able to function, right? So excuse me, I gotta figure out to get back where I was. All right, and then you want to take off so the target can enter. So what we're doing here is if that the thing in front of us is not enterable, then it will just immediately destroy it. So if it is enterable, we don't have anything written for that. So if it is enterable, right, if it's not enterable, it will destroy the thing that's in front of you, thus creating the illusion of blowing something up. And then everything we write past this literally is to just make sure we can still walk on that path after it's destroyed. So everything we've created so far is just destroying both that wall that we've created as well as the tile, right? So wait, let me do oh no, this is the call. But this is also starting that process. So this is to destroy the wall and the thing. So the next thing we go into is the actual wall, right? So now we're creating the wall. Obviously my wall is no longer a wall. I've replaced it with more polish, but this did start off as just a regular wall that I extended down so it would still cover the map the way the regular wall does. All right. And now, like I said, this is polished, so yours is going to look like a regular wall, and so you add something close to my package or wherever you want to do to make it yours. So all we have to do here is get an event begin play, then right-click the event begin play and call the parent function. And whenever you have the parent function called, now you just drag off of that and bind to the event that we just created. So the reason why I went through the entity first was because we needed to have this event created to be able to call it. So the event dispatcher's name is explosive touch, right? So we're going to go back to the wall, and that's what we're going to call. And we're calling the bind to event for explosive touch. Then we're going to put the okay. So I did skip ahead a little bit. Sorry. What you need to do before you even do the bind event, and like right after you do the begin play, you need to create a variable and then name it like whatever you're going to use to this is essentially the identification for how you route whatever the TnT block itself is to this. So that's why you want to make an instance editable, editable. And thus you literally can go back into the world. Give me a second, I'll show you. Click this and see that the entity is the bomb, which is this one right here. And we just raindrop select that, or do the drop down and select this specific one. And that, that does the job, gets everything to blow up. Anyways, back to the main portion of this. Like I said, so that is what you're calling. You're just making an event dispatcher. I mean, you're just making a variable to be able to connect the TnT and the wall, so they make things happen. So the next thing you want to do is create a custom event, name it destroy, destro, whatever you want to do with it. It literally, it's only gonna, the process is to connect and make an event that will actually do the setting of the invisibility for this particular thing. What you see at the end of this is also what I talked about if you guys pop back and read the last chat I did. But the last chat goes into the details and the greatness that comes with using Niagara systems. So literally, if you are able to download a package that already has a pre-made Niagara animation, all you have to do is get an activate node and then connect that Niagara system to the target, and it immediately calls. So in literal terms, right, this Niagara system is the NS blink, and this immediately triggers an explosion whenever that's the end of the code. So whenever the code ends, I'm sorry, I went to the wrong thing. Whenever the code ends, it triggers that Niagara thing to give you the illusion that you're making things blow up by touching fire, or touching the trigger that explodes into the crystal to make it explode. The whole point is to make the things explode, right? So that's what we're doing. And when you're setting the visibility, you want to make sure that you're specific, that you don't want the entire thing to go in. So eventually it does. That's one of the things I'm still working on, to be honest, which is to make sure the actual base plane tile doesn't disappear, as well as the doesn't disappear with the explosion, right? And I just wanted it to be the rock that disappears, but I'm still trying to work out the bugs with that. I feel like that's in the bomb somewhere, and that's why it's not doing the things I want it to do. I don't know why it's telling me to compile again. I haven't changed anything, but regardless, this is how to get this working and up off the ground. So and I do know that the original write-up I had for this was you would be able to just walk up to a wall, touch it, things blow up. Then you'd also be able to kick a box into it, and it would do the same thing. Still working on the functionality for that as well. That would be the touch wall and what the bomb originally was. But now, like I said, it's a TnT system that you just press the button and it blows things up, which is, I think they're both usable. They're both fine. If there are any issues with trying to call things, I'll be happy to help whoever decides to choose my thing. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. That was the video. That's how I did the thing. And hopefully you can do the thing too. Like I said, I'll have the package I used linked, as well as the color palettes as well. I got from another package as well, if you wanted to throw some more color in here. Otherwise, thank you for tuning in, and